Cal State San Bernardino's 5th annual Grad Slam competition. Thank you everybody for coming. We really appreciate you being here. So I wanted to talk a little bit about why a Grad Slam is important. Why do we do this? So our grad students here are very experienced at talking about their research in their own disciplines, right? They've probably been to conferences, they might even be on publications, but what they're not necessarily experienced in is talking about their research to a general audience. So they are doing really important work. So from cancer research, right, to learning in the age of AI, to women's health, right, to the food supply, to cultural resources like gardening, to nicotine pouches and nicotine addiction. So this is important work, and the general public would never necessarily hear about it, right, without something like this. So this is a place where you can talk to your families about it, but it's also good experience in terms of things like in the future, if you want to get grant funding and being able to talk to a program officer, or if you are doing a job interview, or just talking to the general public so they understand the impact of graduate education in all of our lives, right? So this is really important stuff. So we really appreciate the time and efforts that students have put into this. So they've been working. They didn't just come here born to do these 3-minute talks, right? They've been working really hard over the past couple of months. And I want to thank Megan Canali, who's really led the charge. So thank you, Megan. And I also want to thank all of the grad studies staff who, as usual, they've been troopers and they're here helping as they always do. So thank you so much. One of the things that I really like about the Grad Slam event is that every year it's kind of a community effort. So we have past Grad Slam participants who mentor the new Grad Slam participants. So for example, you guys got to know Alejandra Marquez, right, who was mentoring you throughout the way. So that's really cool to have that continuity and that she comes back and does that. And even here today, we have some of our alums. We have Juan Salcedo, who participated last year, and Sai Chandras, I saw somewhere up there. So we've got 2 alums who are here to support you, who participated in this last year. We have the Graduate Writing Center, who was there mentoring. Katie's here, right? Hi, Katie. Katie Chavez. So thank you for all of your help too. And the Speaking Center at JHBC, particularly Maggie Boyraz and Paisley, who have been phenomenal, right, as mentors. So I love that it's a community effort. So that's so great. And it's just an exciting event all around. So now I want to turn to our judges. So speaking of community effort, our judges have come out to help judge, right? And without them, we wouldn't be able to do this. So we really appreciate you being here, and I want to introduce them. So our first judge is Panis Herrera, who is a CSUSB alum. She was a graduate student herself. I remember from the Graduate Student Society. She is a cybersecurity and AI executive and Deloitte consultant and a PhD candidate at Claremont Graduate University. So thank you so much for being here. And next we have Michelle Skilgen, who has judged this before, and we so appreciate your time. So Michelle is CSUSB's Senior Director of Corporate and Foundation Relations. And Laura McGeehan, who also judged last year, and I judged their competition over at UCR, so that was fun too. So Laura McGeehan is Director of Academic Preparation, Recruitment, and Outreach for the Graduate Division at UC Riverside. Thank you so much. And Edward Montoya. So Edward Montoya is a council member for the city of Rialto and also runs a nonprofit that's, I think we just talked about it. So that is dedicated toward mental health support for veterans and first responders. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. So now I would like to introduce our provost, Dr. Rafiq Mohammed.
Check. Here we go. Thank you, Ralph. So you rushed into the rescue, Ralph. I appreciate it. Hi, everybody. How are y'all doing? Right up here. Wait, who are contestants today, the six of you. So I heard a story earlier, and that story was that there were supposed to be 8 of you, and that one of you, perhaps it was a conspiracy among several of you, gave the others the flu to reduce the competition. I thought that was pretty slick and innovative of you. So congratulations on that one. Nice move. All right. Dr. Vickers, or it could have been Megan, or somebody gave me things that they said I had to say by way of welcome. So I'm going to say a few things by way of welcome. First of all, thank you to you all for the work that you do and for your willingness to participate in this. I can tell from the looks on your face, at least some of you seem a little nervous. I know this can be nerve-wracking, so don't worry, you got this. It's going to be great. But really, hats off to you for the work that you've done to get to this point in your academic journey and in your lives. Kudos and congratulations. I'll say more of that later. Secondly, as Dr. Vickers said, thank you to all the folks in graduate studies for hosting this event year after year. I was walking over here and my team over in my office sometimes feels sorry for me because there are a lot of things that I have to attend. And I said, no, I like this one because it is really fun and really cool and interesting. And I don't get to spend enough time or as much time as I would like witnessing what the great work that our students do. So I'm super excited about being here for this. I'd also like to thank our judges. I've done this before. I did it at UCR once. I know there's pressure on y'all too, and you want to be as fair as possible, but it's also a time commitment. So thank you all for your willingness to do this, and thanks to everybody who showed up today. And finally, thank you to all of the other faculty and staff on our campus who help support you all along your journey and who help make all of this possible too. I know that Megan is a taskmaster. She's like, we are going to stay on schedule. You shouldn't have given me a microphone, Megan, because I don't have a 3-minute limit, right? But maybe I do. So I'll be succinct. I'm going to start with just a quick story. My quick story is this. I have a couple of stories, 2 stories. I'm going to tell you 2 stories, and then I'm getting out of here. Story number 1. Have any of you all are relatively young. Have you ever seen the movie Cool Runnings? Okay. It's about the Jamaican bobsled team. I was just in Jamaica last week. I truly was. I've been to Jamaica several times. I used to take students to Jamaica for study abroad. I will tell you this, Jamaica has the Blue Mountains, which is where some of the world's best coffee comes from. But the one thing Jamaica does not have is snow. Like even at the top of the Blue Mountains on the coldest day, I've never seen snow in Jamaica. Yet Jamaica fielded a bobsled team, which became the basis of the movie Cool Runnings, right? So unthinkable, unreasonable. I think that's a clear example of a country or a group or whatever punching above its weight. And I use that by way of analogy for this reason. The CSUSB, we are known for our teaching excellence. Like that is what our first criterion here is in terms of how we evaluate faculty. That is what we purportedly do best, and we do that very well. But the one thing that is underemphasized on our campus, or at least publicly about our campus, is the role we play in research. We punch above our weight in research. We hire faculty who, number one, first and foremost, want to be here, want to teach students, want to be engaged with students in research and teaching and those things. But they are scholars who could work anywhere else. They could work wherever they want to work in the country or in the world. But they specifically want to work at a place like this because of the emphasis we place not just on teaching, but on the hands-on opportunity to work with our students in research, and especially our graduate students in terms of research. And I bring up the Cool Runnings because I don't think I don't think most people understand the scope of our research operations here at CSUSB. I will sum it up like this. I have a data point here. I will look at it. Over the last 5 years, our faculty brought in over $200 million in external funding to support research. That is huge, right? That is huge. We are regularly in the top 5, top 8 in the CSU in terms of research funding. CSUSB brings in more research funding than some of the big behemoths in the system, right? And I think that that's incredible. It's a testament to our faculty, but it's also a testament to the work that our students do, because our faculty research is often dependent upon working with students in research spaces. So I wanted to emphasize that. The second thing I was told that I needed to mention, and I'm going to be succinct, Megan, is the importance of an event like this, of learning to present your work in 3 minutes. I'm going to tell you one last story. I said I would tell two stories. This is Caroline heard this story. Excuse me. Sorry, Dean Vickers. Dean Vickers heard this story earlier today. When I was a graduate student, a colleague of mine, or one of our faculty members, a guy who was super well published and everything else, came up to me and asked me about my research. And like y'all, you've been working on these things for years, right? And so you're like, so he said, we were literally on an elevator, and he said, "Tell me about the work that you're doing." And I was like, okay. And I started telling him about my research, and it was this meandering diatribe of stuff that made absolutely no sense. This was more than 20 years ago, and I'm still utterly humiliated by my inability to succinctly tell him what I did. Right, his name was Ray Navaco. You can look him up. And I still, he was never a direct professor of mine, but he asked me that question, and I was mortified and didn't deliver. The thing that I think is so awesome about what you all are doing today, and what you had to do in preparation for today, is that you really had to think about how to collapse all of your work into something succinct and coherent. And that's not just important for today. It's not just important for our judges over there. That's going to be important for life. Right, because you all are going to be out there in the world, and whether it's about your research or other things, and certainly what I'm not demonstrating right now is oftentimes brevity and succinctness are incredibly important, and also equally important, the ability to convey messages to different kinds of audiences. Because today you're talking about your research, and you might be a computer scientist, you might be a psychologist, you might be a whatever, but you're going to be talking to people here who don't have that background, and the challenge and opportunity is really to get them to understand the work that you're doing. And that's going to be a skill, a muscle that you develop that'll serve you over the course of your life, whether you go into a PhD program, whether you go into a corporate setting, or whatever setting you may be in. So I was told to emphasize that. And the last thing I will say, and I mean this from the heart, I led with this, and I'm going to close with this, is I'm just incredibly proud of y'all and what you've accomplished up to this point of your journey. I know there are lots of different things you could have done with your lives, but you chose to be here with us. We appreciate you. I appreciate the work that you do, and I wish you all a ton of success up here with your 3-minute pitches. So thank you, and thank you all. Back to you, Megan, or Caroline, whoever.
I'll take that. Okay. So it is now my pleasure to introduce our MC, Ralph Figueroa. So I want to say a little bit about Ralph before he takes over the stage. So he's a U.S. Army veteran, nationally recognized for leadership, accelerated workforce development, mental health initiatives, and student veteran advocacy. He's a proud Cal State San Bernardino alum. He received his degree in the Counseling Master's Program in 2025 with a 4.0 GPA. So excellent. He also serves as the commissioner and chair of the San Bernardino County Veterans. Did somebody say
Advisory Committee?
Sorry?
The Veterans Advisory Committee?
Yeah, so, right, I thought I heard somebody whisper at me or something, but anyway, okay, he also serves as the commissioner and chair of the San Bernardino County Veterans Advisory Committee and is the chair for Veteran Success Initiatives and the MC for the upcoming 2026 Defining the Future National Conference held here at CSUSB, April 15th and 16th, so come out for that. But that's not all. Ralph is also an internationally known stand-up comedian known for his sharp humor and engaging storytelling. He has toured bases all over the world entertaining service members. So thank you so much, Ralph, for serving as our MC.
Awesome. Thank you. Come on, let's give Dr. Vickers a round of applause, everybody. Come on, give a round of applause. And while we're at it, please keep that applause going for the Graduate Studies Department. The office has done such a fantastic job. Megan, thank you for being here. Definitely want to say thank you to the provost, Dr. Muhammad, for being here. We also have some deans here. So from JHBC, we got Dr. Gomez Arias over here. Let's give him a round of applause. From Natural Sciences, our dean, here we go, Dr. Pantula. Let's give Dr. Pantula a round of applause. From Arts and Letters, Dr. Juan, let's give her a round of applause as well. And of course, our judges, thank you. So as Dr. Vickers mentioned, I am a U.S. Army veteran, and just like I start every show that I do, any event that I do, I like to pay homage to all our veterans. So if there's any veterans here, I want you to stand up and be recognized. If you served your country, I want you to stand up right now. Thank you so much. So today we're going to have a great time. We've got some amazing participants that are going to share their research with all of you guys, and kind of just to piggyback of what the provost said. This is a tough thing. Going out into different countries to tell jokes for the troops is way easier than what they're about to do, but they've been practicing. I had the honor of listening to them go and do their rehearsals, and I'm gonna tell you, judges, right now that you guys are gonna struggle because every single one of these participants today are going to give you guys a run for your money and figuring out who's going to win. So there's also going to be a People's Choice Award at the very end. So for all of those that are joining us virtually, and then you guys will also be able to join once we get the QR code, we want to make sure that, we're going to do that at the end, and there's going to be a reception. One other notable person here, Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Oliveras is here. Let's give her a round of applause as well. So this is beautiful to see all the support that we have for our students, our graduate students. I just graduated here last year, and I was honored to be the host last year. And to see what they did, I was thoroughly impressed. And you guys are going to be as impressed as I was last year. And then afterwards, we're going to take a little quick seat. So are you guys ready to begin this competition? Now, you guys can do, they need some energy. Are you guys ready for this competition to begin? There we go. Let's do it, CSUSB. Where are my Yodis? Where are my Yodis? Where you at? Let me see. Yodis? There we go. It's like a little gang sign now, huh? All right, let's do it. So without further ado, we are going to bring up our first participant. All right, you guys ready? Let's start getting ready. Our first participant coming to the stage. Give a round of applause to Caroline Beatty, everybody. Let her hear it.
Mic check, mic check. Whew. When I was an undergraduate STEM student, I remember sitting in lecture halls filled with diagrams, formulas, and complex material, and being completely overwhelmed. I wasn't struggling because I didn't care. I wasn't struggling because I wasn't capable. I was struggling because the notes in front of me didn't match the way that I learned. Some students can listen to a lecture once and remember it instantly. Others can make it into organized outlines. But for students like me, understanding required something else that aligned with how my brain processed information. Whether or not you've been in a STEM classroom or not, I'm sure everyone can have that feeling of being lost in dense content. And I often thought if there was a tool that could take these lecture notes and organize them into a way that made sense for me. Today, with the rise of artificial intelligence, that tool may finally exist. AI is part of our everyday lives, to how we work, study, or even grocery shop. In higher education, students are using AI to summarize lectures, explain difficult concepts, and generate notes. The technology isn't going away. In fact, it's becoming more integrated into how we learn. But here's the challenge. Most students don't know were never formally taught how to use AI effectively. And that's where my research comes in. So as a quick check, I'd like you to raise your hand if you've ever used AI to work, study, or grocery shop. Now, I want you to keep your hand raised if somebody formally taught you how to do so. You can put your hands down. Without guidance, AI outputs can be vague. They can be oversimplified or inaccurate. The issue isn't whether or not we should use AI, it's whether or not we're teaching our students to use it ethically, intentionally, and strategically. My research focuses on enhancing AI-generated notes through prompt engineering training. Rather than banning AI or using it through trial and error, my research explores what happens when you give students the tools to create better prompts, and how those better prompts can create organized, accurate notes that align with their individualized learning styles. The goal isn't to replace learning, the goal is to support it. When students can guide AI properly, it doesn't become a shortcut. It becomes a scaffolding system. My ultimate goal is to implement a course into university classes where it can be used as a tool to adapt to the learner rather than the learner adapting to the lecture. When students can guide AI with intent, integrity, and critical thinking, we don't just improve their notes, we give them the tools that can empower and enhance their futures. Thank you.
All right, let's give Caroline a round of applause. Come on, come on. Let's take a quick seat here. So you did really well. Congratulations. Yeah. Catch your breath there. So tell us what was the inspiration behind your research?
Yeah, so I was an undergraduate bio student, and I also have my master's in biology as well. So just being in organic chemistry in general was confusing. I'm also a current STEM counselor here on the campus. So it's been like a full circle moment to see different students kind of have those same struggles. So I found a learning gap and I decided to do some research on it.
That's fantastic. So tell us about your experience as a Cal State San Bernardino student and now also as a worker. So what's been your experience here?
It's been great. I actually am from Ohio originally, and I went to Cleveland State University first, so both CSUs. But I started out as a staff member, and I saw the sense of community and decided that I wanted to immerse myself into the student side too. And it's been really great to kind of being able to bring resources to my students that I know as a staff member, but also as a student myself.
Wow, that's awesome. So what's next? What's next for Caroline? What type of endeavors are you looking, especially given this amazing research that you've been working on?
Graduating in the fall would be great. Um, graduating and kind of immersing myself into instructional design itself. My ultimate goal would be to be a community outreach specialist to kind of take information and bring it to communities that maybe don't have that available to them and interpret it in different ways that align with a lot of different people to kind of break down those barriers.
So what words of advice would you give to students that are right here that to get to that success that you've achieved at your time here at Cal State San Bernardino?
Use your resources around you. I definitely didn't take advantage of that in my undergrad. And I can see as a staff member now how much resources there are here and how much it's like underutilized. So use your resources and use your community around you because I'm full-time work, full-time school, and I'm making it happen. So I know you guys can too.
Congratulations once again, Caroline. Let's give her a round of applause, everybody. Telling you, this is going to be tough. That was a great research topic. So we are now going to move on to our next participant. Are you guys ready? Come on, are you guys ready? Our next participant is going to be discussing the plague of PCOS, how women are dealing with polycystic ovary syndrome. So everybody give a round of applause to Adriana Brown. Let her hear it.
Good evening. Have you ever felt like your health is out of your control? No matter how hard you try, you can't lose weight. Your hair is falling out similarly to male pattern baldness. You have a few new coarse hairs appearing on your chin. No matter how much you sleep, you're still exhausted. You have unbearable cravings for foods that you've been avoiding. Maybe you've gone to your doctor begging for answers, endured invasive tests, only to be left without answers. Maybe it's anxiety. Eat less, move more. These are the experiences of women living with the most common reproductive disorder in the world, polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS for short. My research aims to explore what women are doing now to manage their symptoms and further strengthen nutrition-based interventions because better guidance means better care. The CDC reports that 1 in 10 women have this disease, and many don't even know it. Diagnosis is often mishandled or delayed. In one study, including doctors, 85% of those participants stated they knew the diagnostic criteria, yet only 55% of those participating doctors could actually name the 3 criteria: lack of ovulation, polycystic ovaries, and elevated androgens, like testosterone. Symptoms can appear in young women as early as puberty, when they're the most vulnerable. Their bodies already feel weird and abnormal. They don't know what's supposed to be happening or what's not supposed to be happening. And women are already dismissed in medical research as it is. Women were not legally required to be included in medical research until 1993. Moreover, the supplements that women are taking to manage their symptoms are not FDA approved. They are also very much not researched for their efficacy in polycystic ovarian syndrome. We do have hope, though. There are international guidelines for the diagnosis and treatment of PCOS. However, these guidelines do not bring attention to the dietary interventions that are possible. They generally require the following of your nation's general guidelines for nutrition. Ultimately, I hope to provide nutrition-based interventions for community health organizations to help improve the lives of our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, and our friends. Thank you.
All right, Adriana. Come on, let's give Adriana another round of applause. Come and join me for a second there. Love the outfit, by the way.
Thank you.
So what led you to research this? What was the inspiration behind that?
I have polycystic ovary syndrome, and when I was 18 and I was diagnosed, I was told that my life would amount to requiring medical intervention in order to have children. Otherwise, I would never have them. That I was guaranteed to have diabetes, and I was guaranteed to stay overweight and unhealthy and miserable. This was what was told to my face by doctors. And so I know that there was more out there. I wasn't taught anything about the disease, and I felt like there had to be other options that are more affordable because it is a very expensive disease to have. And so I decided to explore what options existed from a nutrition-based perspective, as I'm a future registered dietitian.
That's awesome. So how did CSUSB really help you as far as this research? What was your experience and how the university helped you, your professors and your mentors? What was the outcome of that?
Certainly. Well, my faculty advisor, Dr. Neal, he has been extraordinarily supportive throughout this process, answering all of my questions, even if they're kind of redundant. Dr. Chen has supported my entire education from literally before I even started, setting me up and backing me throughout the entire time that I've been a student here, including through my second pregnancy and delivery of my child, my second son. So the staff here and the community has been very supportive.
Yeah, I saw you got a little teared out, from the thing about your kids. What are your kids thinking about mom and what mom's doing right now?
Well, I hope they think I'm pretty cool, but the little one's passed out way up there.
They usually knock out pretty quick, right?
He's 3, yeah.
3. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So where do you go from here, Adriana?
Well, I'm finishing my internship and my master's degree shortly. And then after that, I'm eligible to sit for my exam to become a registered dietitian. So we're hoping I pass on the first try, and then I can, reach out through different programs like WIC or even my own ambitions as a registered dietitian for fertility and pediatrics.
So not hoping, it's when you pass it, right?
Correct.
She's going to pass it, right? See? You got a support system. Adriana, thank you so much for what you shared with us. And please, let's give Adriana another round of applause. Okay, are you guys ready for our third participant? Now, come on, let's wake up. Let's wake up. We got to bring them energy. You guys ready for your third participant? Our next participant is going to do NSC Grad SPK7 weaponizing virus against ovarian cancer. Please, everybody, give a round of applause to Gurmeet Kaur. Everybody, let her hear it.
It's good? Okay, yeah. Okay. 15 years ago, my sister was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. Like many patients, she underwent surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. I watched her lose her beautiful hair and her glowing skin, but not from cancer, but from the treatment that was meant to save her. I used to think, is it our only option? And this question led me to cancer research. Today, I want to introduce Grad SPK7. It's an advanced virus immunotherapy that only targets and kills tumor cells, leave the healthy cells unharmed. To understand its function, let's get into its biology. All our cells have specific locks on them, and we have a surveillance system of immune guard cells with the keys to unlock these cells and check if the cell is healthy. If not, then mark it for removal. But tumor cells change these locks, and these guard cells can no longer open and check if it's normal or not. So that's how these tumors become cold tumors. It's invisible and is free to grow. So how do we get into something that's locked and invisible? Here comes Grad. Imagine Grad as a special officer with a specialized key, PK7, to unlock these tumor cells. And once inside, our specialized K9S confirms the cancer. And then Officer Grad destroys the tumor cells. But more importantly, it also calls those guard cells to the tumor site and recognize it for the future attacks. So in my research, I optimized how this therapy should be given. I tested 6 dosing strategies in an ovarian cancer mice model with 10 mice per group. And the result was striking. 3 biweekly doses of NSC Grad doubled the survival outcome from 50 days in untreated to 105 days in the treated group. Not more, not less. Biweekly treatment hits the sweet spot. And these outcomes will guide us how to use this therapy in future clinical trials. The approach works in 2 ways. It kills the cancer, and it also educates the immune system. And it also doesn't hurt the healthy cells, so no hair fall, no strength loss, and a better quality of life for the patient. My sister's journey brought me here today, and I won't stop until we find something better for every patient who comes after. Thank you.
All right, let's give Gurmeet a round of applause.
Hi.
Fantastic presentation, by the way.
Thank you.
So what was your inspiration behind your research? What got you interested?
So it's kind of a familial thing because I have like these cancer mutations from my paternal as well as my maternal side. So, God forbid something happens. So it was like personal touch as well. So that's why I wanted to get into cancer research. And nowadays, immunotherapies are like the big thing in cancer treatment. So that's why I did this research. And also, I'm thankful for Serum Bridges program at CSUSB. It matched me to a cancer research lab at City of Hope under the supervision of Dr. Aboudi. And I'm really thankful for Dr. Nicole Borges for giving me this opportunity.
Absolutely. That's awesome that you said that. So are there other people here at Cal State San Bernardino that you want to give a thank you to help you with your research?
Yeah, so it's Dr. Nicole Borges from College of Natural Sciences and my PI, Dr. Laura Nicum, and also the Serum Bridges program. So yeah, so I'm really thankful to all of them for this opportunity.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It goes such a long way when you have that kind of support system. So Gurmeet, tell us and share where are you at right now and where do you see yourself in the future?
So in future, first of all, I want to graduate by fall. And after that, I'm also exploring doctoral programs for immunotherapies, basically stem cell or CAR T, and also natural killer cells. So in our body, we have these tools, but cancer is so smart to just evade their vision. Like the immune system cannot recognize them because it's like it changes its appearance. So I really want to work in those programs, like doctoral programs, so that I can explore it more and do better for the society.
Awesome. Let's give Gurmeet another round of applause. Thank you so much. And the outfit, you guys, your outfits are on point tonight. So thank you for being here. Let's give Gurmeet one last round of applause. Fantastic. I'm telling you, judges, it's gonna get tougher. Each one of them so far has just been doing such a phenomenal job. And so this is what it's about. This competition is real. This competition is showing how CSUSB, the faculty, the staff, and the support system that these students are getting. And so now, without further ado, our next participant, who will be talking about water and sunlight, adapting to a warmer world through botany. Give a round of applause to Jeremy Reed, everybody. Let him hear it.
I want to share something frightening with all of you. The past 11 years have been the 11 hottest years ever recorded globally. 2025, just last year, was the third hottest year ever recorded, and 2026 is on track to follow that record. Climate change is an ever-present threat, but especially so for underserved communities like San Bernardino, which just don't have the resources to cope with the strain. Knowing what we know, how do we adapt to a warmer world? Well, one possibility may be through photosynthesis. Now, photosynthesis is something that all of us learn about at some point, but just as a reminder, it's the process by which plants take energy from the sun and carbon from the air and turn them into food. It's the basis of survival for nearly every ecosystem on Earth, including our own through agriculture. But plants aren't immune to rising temperatures. The hotter it gets, the drier our main crops get, and the harder it is to make sure that everybody gets the food that they need. Thankfully, there are a few different types of photosynthesis. Some plants, such as cacti and agave, use a type called CAM. CAM works great for them because it allows for massive water savings, which gives them the ability to survive in their drier habitats. But it's less clear if using CAM prevents the kind of high productivity we'd want to see in crop plants. This is where my work comes in. We asked, are there any real differences in productivity between plants that use standard photosynthesis and those that use CAM? To test this, we found two plant species that are very closely related, Tillandsia convertiflora and Tillandsia latifolia. These plants have a lot in common, but their main difference is that one uses standard photosynthesis and the other uses CAM. So we took them and we grew them together under both healthy, well-watered conditions as well as under droughted conditions. And we monitored their growth over a course of 10 weeks. What we found kind of surprised us. We expected CAM usage to really limit the productivity of these plants, but we actually found no real difference in the growth between these two groups under the well-watered conditions. And under droughted conditions, our CAM species was a big winner, easily able to continue to grow, unlike our standard photosynthesis species, which just couldn't keep up under the stress. So we have big reasons to believe that CAM photosynthesis can impart great savings on water usage without imposing any major penalties to growth. But how does this help us adapt to a warmer world? Well, besides investing more funds in crops that use CAM naturally, genetic manipulation may allow us to introduce CAM to new species and extend our farmland to even the driest areas on Earth. In a world where survival is just becoming harder and harder, we can work with nature to find a better way for all of us. Thank you.
Ooh. All right, let's give Jeremy a round of applause. Come and join me over here, Jeremy. Come on. Come on. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great job. Great job. So what was the inspiration behind your research?
Well, my previous mentor, he worked a lot with, he was really interested in how plants adapt to various environmental conditions. And one of these was looking at this particular type of photosynthesis. So a lot of my early work in that lab helped ignite my interest in kind of investigating that in a more granular way and really finding ways that could be applied to agriculture. So it kind of sparked from there, and my current mentor has really helped with continuing that work, completing it, and bringing it to the stage of completion where it is now, where I'm getting ready to graduate this coming summer.
Woo. Are you excited for the graduation?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. Thanks to COVID, it took a little longer than I was hoping for.
Yeah.
So excited to get to that point.
So what's next for Jeremy after graduation?
Well, I have a few ideas in mind. I'd really love to work with some of our local botanical gardens. I really love California's just biodiversity, just how many opportunities there are in that area. Maybe something to do with forestry, or maybe continuing with teaching, which I got a little exposure to during my degree program, and would love to continue with that with in a more formal setting.
That's fantastic. So any special shout outs, thank yous to people here at Cal State San Bernardino? They're watching, so give them a shout out right now, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely my previous mentor, Dr. Skillman, and my current mentor, Dr. Smith. They were both so foundational to where I am today. People in my lab, Peter Braun, Caitlin Hazelquist, Ariana Dorticos, also instrumental, as well as my current coworkers at the Science Success Center, where I'm currently working while working through my degree. They've been a huge amount of support to me through this time. I've just had a lot of support from a lot of different areas, just also from grad students in a lot of different labs that I worked with. I wouldn't be here without them.
Absolutely, yes. One last question. I'm an Army guy. I love the green. What made you choose the green suit today?
Oh, well, I had some recommendations that would go well with the photosynthesis topic. So
that kind of goes. That's what I was hoping for. All right, are we good? So congratulations, Jeremy. Let's give Jeremy a round of applause. Come on. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Telling you, it's getting tougher. We're going to get our next participant to come to the stage as we keep going. Are you guys having a good time so far? Everybody having a good time? Right? So judges, I know it's going to be a little tough for you guys, but do your best. Again, they're giving you guys a lot of tough decisions to make. So our next participant going to discuss the archaeology of memory gardens of the Vietnamese diaspora. Please welcome Christina Monson, everybody.
Good evening. Oh, mic check. We're good. When most people think of archaeology, they think of Indiana Jones or grave robbing. In reality, it is so much more than this. It seeks to explore the human experience through material artifacts, sites, and landscapes. Eating, cuisine, and encompass all of the senses, which is also a part of archaeology. Archaeology encompasses our senses and memory, which is something that we tend to forget about our ancestors, because these things are not tangible. They must be inferred and are open to interpretation. Archaeology, unfortunately, has been preoccupied with what we eat, not how we engage with it. Through my research, I've discovered that Southern California has the largest concentration of Vietnamese outside of Vietnam itself. Diasporic communities tend to maintain emotional and cultural ties to their ancestral homelands, such as through cuisine. Through research, gardens have formed the basis for adaptations to being in a new environment. Gardens provide a way to alleviate these stresses because they provide a familiar background and a sense of accomplishment and routine. Additionally, researchers argue that gardens or backyard museums provide an extension of personality, culture, and aesthetics, creating a connection to personal histories and traditions while living in a broader environment. It's not just creating a connection to the past. It's about creating an adaptation to a new environment while renegotiating your cultural values while maintaining key cultural parts of your own identity. My research intersects these themes and seeks to explore why Vietnamese people have these gardens. Through interviews, I expect to find that they have these gardens because it maintains a sense of connectivity with their ancestral homeland. I expect to find that the majority of what is planted is indigenous or culturally important, either as a food or as a medicinal plant. I expect to find that substitutions exist for things that are not easily obtainable. Lastly, I expect to find that as subsequent generations become more acculturated towards American tastes, that this gardening tradition will wear off. One of the fondest memories I have is with my grandmother eating kumquats and guava on her stairs. She would carefully peel the kumquats for me and cut the guava small enough for me to hold in my hand. Food is a vital part of Vietnamese culture, and it makes us who we are. Through our enduring, we continue this legacy through our culture. Thank you.
All right, Christina. Let's give Christina a round of applause, everybody. Come on, come on, come on. Christina, how are you?
Nervous, how are you?
No, you're fine. You did a great job. Didn't you do a great job? Absolutely.
Thank you.
So what was the inspiration behind your research?
So for Vietnamese culture and something that I've discovered about myself, food is a love language. If I care about you, I will bring you food. And in Vietnamese culture, we don't really say I'm sorry. We say, have you eaten yet? Here's some fruit that I cut up for you. Like, I think you'd like them. So yeah, food.
Food. You had me at food.
Yeah.
And thank you, because sometimes I see you bring me some snacks, and now I understand. Yeah.
Giving gifts.
Absolutely. Any shout outs of who helped you with your research? And
Dr. Hep, my advisor, Dr. Murray, my history advisor as well. All of Grad Studies, they've seen me so many times. And then my co-workers at the Graduate Student Success Center for putting up with me, for listening to me yell this speech at them all day today. So
I'm pretty sure they're almost subject matter experts now. That right?
yes.
So, what word of advice would you give to the incoming students, the younger students here at Cal State? Yeah.
To reiterate what Caroline said, take advantage of all the resources that we have. We have so many resources. Like, there's Office of Graduate Studies who's putting this on. I work at the Graduate Student Success Center upstairs, and there's just, if you need something, there's something on campus can get you what you need. Yeah.
Very, very well said. Right. What's your favorite part so far as a student here at Cal State?
Honestly, I love the professors here. I think they're absolutely amazing. Like, you just ask them something and they're just so knowledgeable, and it's like, wow, like I did not expect that to find that in San Bernardino, but it's here. Like, I went to UC Santa Barbara for a bit, and it's much more personable here. I love it here.
Absolutely. And by the way, your outfit is on point as well tonight. Christina, thank you for being here. Let's give Christina another round of applause, everybody. All right. We are down to our last participant for the night. I know it's a little sad moment for us, but we're going to get a reception afterwards, and we're going to pass out some awards. But our last participant that's going to come up to the stage is going to talk about nicotine pouches, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Everybody give a round of applause to Luis Gonzalez, everybody.
I want everyone to imagine of a wolf wearing the disguise of a sheep. Now take tobacco-free, for example. It sounds safe, doesn't it? But now think of a product in candy-like flavors, promoted by influencers, small enough to fit under your lip, about the size of a gum. I introduce everyone to nicotine pouches, the latest reinvention quietly reaching youth. My policy monitoring letter asks a very simple but urgent question. What exactly are we looking at, and what do we still not know? Since 2016, nicotine pouches have exploded from a very niche product into a multi-million-dollar product, projected to reach around $23 billion by 2030. Around 2% of US youth now report using such products. As of now, it's been claimed that nicotine pouch expose users to fewer toxic chemicals as compared to other products. But the strategy feels very familiar, just like vapes. Youth-appealing flavors, slick online marketing, influencers calling them safer alternatives. Although some limited independent research has found evidence of carcinogens in such products, we do not understand the long-term effects of such products in our youth. And as of now, when it comes to regulation, other countries are not waiting. Just last month, France implemented a full ban on nicotine pouches entirely, sending a very clear message that they are not harmless and that we might be entering a new wave of nicotine addiction. As of now, the market is moving faster than the science and regulation. And if we wait too long, we risk repeating the same cycle as before. My policy monitoring review points to 3 very important urgent actions: the need for more high quality, independent research, more stronger regulated regulation, and immediate limits on youth targeted marketing. So hopefully we all agree, and hopefully we all raise our hands that tobacco-free isn't risk-free, and it will never be. So I ask everyone to think about these questions as you carry out through this room. Will these products become just another chapter in nicotine addiction, or a turning point for effective science policy, as all of us cannot be fooled by the wolf once again? Thank you.
All right, let's give a round of applause to Luis. Luis,
Thank you.
so what was your inspiration behind your research? What,
I mean, some of my colleagues mentioned that this school provides a lot of opportunities. So one of the programs that we have here on campus is called the STOPS program. And so one of the initiatives that kind of inspired me to go into this is just the problem of nicotine addiction as it stands. You know, I'm pretty sure we could relate, you know someone out there that, you know, vapes or consumes some nicotine in some form. And right now, usually the motivation is that we kind of understand that the tobacco industry usually wants to target our youth, right? And sometimes we often hear a lot of claims that no, they're not going after youth. But you know, I'm pretty sure I disagree. However, this actually, I recently just published it like on February. So it's a policy and monitoring review, exactly the same title. You probably could Google it. So this was just as an initiative in order for us to spread a little bit more awareness, because oftentimes science and policy go hand in hand. And so if we want to really change the world a little bit, we have to implement science into a lot of policies that we have now. And so these questions are essential in order for us to, you know, really make a difference in the community, you know, in San Bernardino, Inland Empire, you know, anybody to relate to. So that's really the inspiration of my article.
Yeah, fantastic. So where do you feel this research is going to lead you next?
Yeah, so I'm still working, even though this is just one of my various layers of research. I do other types of research as well, but this is one that I'm currently still working on 2 publications. So it's just going to be another thing about, you know, nicotine. So it's still something that I'm going to work throughout this year. So it's just going to be something that I do look forward to working for. So it will be essential for me to once again communicate what I know to the public.
Yeah. Good. We definitely need that. Yeah, absolutely, right? Any special thank yous or shout outs to who helped you with your research?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, despite my mentor, Dr. Leslie Medeo, she encouraged me a lot, but she's really hands-on, but sometimes she wants us to learn independently. Like this article, it was one of the biggest challenges that I produced, and I just went all alone on it. But still, I do provide a thank you to Dr. Theodore Friedman, because he's the one that provided me the funding to publish my article. So I really do thank a lot. And there is so many other faculty that I thank, specifically in the psychological department. So a lot of great mentors, just like everyone else, you know, so yeah.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, let's give a round of applause for that too. Word of advice to college students here at Cal State San Bernardino.
Yeah, I have a big one. It's take advantage of every single thing that's here. And I think my colleagues explained it well. There's so much opportunity that is one of the reasons why I came to school. Like so much opportunity that I've been involved with so many things. And I like the ability that I'm able to participate in all these things, you know, research, you know, and so many other things. So I do give the advice, you know, don't be afraid, you know, go for it and just take every single opportunity that goes your way.
That's absolutely great advice. You saw a lot of head nodding. So yes, let's give Luis another round of applause here. Thank you and congratulations. So at this point, the judges, you guys are going to have a few minutes to do your stuff. And before that, I would like to have all the participants come up to the stage. Let's give them a round of applause, because they put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into getting the preparation for this competition. So we're just going to wait for Gurmeet to come on up here and to join our 6 participants that I've just made the judges' lives a living hell right now because they're back there going to start deliberating. And with that being said, I would like to turn it back over to Dr. Vickers. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ralph. That was awesome. So, oh my gosh, I'm so proud. I'm just so incredibly proud. Every grad slam, I feel that way. I feel so proud, but you all were amazing. And judges, wherever you are, I'm sorry. It's going to be hard. So I wanted to just take a chance to ask you one question. So, and then I might ask another question. We'll see how much time we have. But I want to ask about your hobbies outside of school. So we talked a lot about your research and your time here at CSUSB, but what about outside of CSUSB? What do you like to do? So Luis, we'll start with you.
I mean, everyone's. I mean, one of the things I'm very into physical fitness, so I going to the gym, and obviously I do like playing soccer a lot, so that's usually my self-care. But oftentimes I do like hiking a lot in a lot of nature characteristics, just to like go off the grid, just to not to be involved with too much research, and as well as technology. We all need that self-care. But those are usually the two things that I do the most, when I put it in my time, in my busy grad school life.
All right, awesome. Great. Do you play like on a team, soccer team? Yeah. All right, cool.
So in my free time, I actually really enjoy cooking, which is, I think, self-explanatory. But I'm also a hairstylist, so I really enjoy like having my creative juices flow through that avenue. And I'm also doing a certified personal training course right now. So I also really love going to the gym, but I can't right now because I've sprained ankle. So yeah, yeah. No, I stepped on like a ball thing and I just laid there for a minute. So
Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay, here we are. All right, next, Adriana.
Hi. Oh, in a way, I'm kind of like, what is free time? Because I'm a mother, I'm an intern, I'm a master's student, I'm a birth doula. I have a lot of roles. I wear a lot of hats. In the very little free time that I do have, sometimes I like to draw and paint and read. Or generally I'm running after my kids and visiting my family members. So that's kind of my life. Thank you.
Okay. So, like she said, what free time? But when I do have time on the weekends, I am definitely an advocate for some trash TV. So, ask me anything about 90 Day Fiance, I got you. It's tiny house hunting, storage wars, you got it. But I also really love to make cake pops. So, if you are one of my coworkers or student assistants at the center, you know that I love to bring in cake pops in different flavors. So, hit me up on the down low if you need some. But other than that, I just sleep to catch up.
Also, I tend to take an interest in anything nerd adjacent. Probably the biggest hobby that I participated in on a regular basis is board gaming. I have a group of friends that I get together with once a week to do board games, and I try and go to a convention for it once a year. It takes up a good chunk of my hobby time with some of the folks I know.
Well, in my free time, I love cooking. So I moved from India to here and I just had all like Indian cuisines and Indian recipes. So now I'm learning some American recipes. So I really love roasting veggies and making some toppings like using cheddar cheese. And yeah, that's all I do. And yeah, and I also kind of learning RNA-seq analysis. I know that's nerdy, but yeah, I'm trying to learn that. Yeah, so that can help me into finding some really good doctoral programs. So I can mix wet lab and dry lab. So yeah, that's all.
Next question. So my next question is, what is your favorite part of your program here at CSUSB? Like, what has been your absolute favorite thing? It could be a class, it could be a lab experience, whatever it is.
Well, I would like to give a shout out to my cohort members. They have made a community instead of just a program for me, and I really, really appreciate that too. Shout out to Jules and Sarah and Yingling. Um, but other than that, I really love the hands-on opportunities. I'm currently in a practicum course where I'm actually able to work with Stater Bros to formulate courses with safety trainings. So it's giving me that hands-on experience without devoting that extra internship, unpaid internship time because I still got to pay bills. So I really, really love the opportunities it presents in that way.
I also really love the hands-on aspect of my classes. I'm actually in a class right now and we play a board game every Thursday. And I don't know what other class that you go to where you play a board game every Thursday. And I also really loved my theory classes. I think I just really like arguing with people and it just brings me joy.
Well, when I was in my undergrad program, cultural cuisines was my favorite class. We got to cook things from all over the world, and then I got to bring them home and test them on my husband. So that was the most fun I think I've had. But as a master student and an intern, I've really loved the ISB program offered by CSUSB. This is the last year for it. However, I've gotten to experience so many different areas of my career goal and kind of to explore a wide variety of jobs and people. And it's been really, really enriching.
And I'd say my favorite aspect has just been all the people that I've gotten to meet during my program. Just all of their different specialties and areas of expertise that I got to just see and experience, maybe sometimes help them out with. Just getting to see that up close, seeing their passion for those different areas. It was always really inspiring to me, and I get to keep so many of those relationships just going forward, just both professionally and just on the personal level too. So I'm so grateful for all of those relationships.
I think the thing that I love the most from my program, which is the Master of Psychological Science, is just the mentorship, the hands-on opportunity as well. So much opportunity for us to learn hands-on as well. We get the ability to be a little bit independent as well. Something that we tend to try to work our best at because most of us, if we want to go to a PhD, we have to be very independent. So I do love the fact that faculty gives us the opportunity to learn these skills early on. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so the best aspect of working on this research has been connecting to people who has helped me to learn all these things, all these techniques that I just used to read in papers in Nature, and now I can do it. So it's really something that I enjoy. And it also gave me chance to represent or present my research in some international avenues like ASGCT in New Orleans last year. So I really enjoyed that part, that I'm not only working in the lab, but I am also interacting with the community, the scientific community. So that's really something that I really appreciate.
Okay, well, we have some well-rounded people, and I kind of want to be invited to dinner. I'm just saying. I mean, it sounds like, there's some good food happening. All right. So let's see. Megan, where are we here? Okay, we need about 30 seconds. So the judges, I told you they were going to have a hard time. So the judges are having a hard time, as predicted. Okay, all right, so we're tallying up. So it was really terrific. All of you did just such a phenomenal job. So like I said, I'm so incredibly proud of you. And, hopefully this experience has helped you professionally. And so I don't know if we'll have time to go through the whole group, but talk a little bit about how the experience of preparing for the Grad Slam has helped you professionally. So we'll start with you, Caroline. You're right.
Okay, really quick. I used to be an outdoor science teacher, so standing in front of a bunch of 5th and 6th graders was nothing to me. This was a completely different situation. So I really, really love the chance to kind of rehearse something that's professional and means something to a lot of people other than, you know, talking to 5th and 6th graders about food. Yeah, that I'll keep it short so you guys can.
I'm an introvert, and being a hairstylist, I had to learn how to talk to a person one-on-one. Doing this, I have to talk to an audience, so I am less terrified now.
Well, as a future registered dietitian, a lot of the work involves talking to people. A lot of the times they give presentations and they educate and they teach classes. And so this was an excellent opportunity to kind of practice those skills.
Yeah, and I'd say from my previous experience as a teaching associate for some labs in the bio program, it's definitely a much different kind of environment. From there, you know, having all of your learning materials just kind of usually some PowerPoint slides or some physical demonstrations, but as opposed to here where it's just having that information and just being able to display it clearly and succinctly just directly to an audience. Yeah, it helps a lot with giving that different perspective on how information can be presented to people.
Yeah, I guess for the most part. Oh, sorry, I kind of blank. What was the question? Sorry. Oh, grad school. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. No, I got it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. For me, I love doing these type of events. So I come from a neuroscience background. So one of the aspects that my PI kind of mentions is that when it comes to PhD interviews, they will want you to explain your research in 3 minutes because they don't want to. Yeah, you know, they don't have time to be explaining it. So it is a skill that PhD candidates do have to have in order to do well in the interview and hopefully get accepted, right? So it does play a big role in my skill base. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would agree with the same thing that in the beginning, it was really difficult to put everything, all the research in like just 3 minutes. It was like putting a genie in the tiny lamp. But but with Katie from Writing Center and Megan, so yeah, from this support, and I really learned that how I need to like which I can just leave it out because I need to like convert my scientific thing or my research into layman terms. So that was a really good technique that I learned, and I think it will help me as a PhD candidate. So yeah.
I have the winners in my hand. So I have to say that Megan came up and said it was a 0.5 difference between each of them. It was a 0.5 difference. So it was really close. So all of you did a terrific job. You had tough competition. So, you know. So first of all, I'm going to start with our People's Choice Award. So the People's Choice Award goes to Caroline Beatty. Okay, and our third place winner is Jeremy Reed. All right, and our second place winner is Luis Gonzalez. And our first place winner is Gurmeet Kaur. Congratulations, everybody. And we also have baskets full of swag. Yeah. Baskets full of swag. So we're passing out the baskets full of swag, and then we need the paparazzi, right? So thank you, everybody, for coming. This was fantastic. Our students are amazing, obviously, and come back next year. We're going to do this again in April next year. Oh, and I should say that Luis and Gurmeet, you will be moving on to the system-wide competition which will be on May 1st, hosted by CSU Fullerton. It'll be virtual, so you all can Zoom in. And then we're going to be working with you to change your format to a virtual format on Zoom, because it'll be a Zoom competition. But yeah, so you will proudly represent CSUSB. So thank you very much in advance.
And real quick, if we could get our participants to kind of move up, we can get a group picture of you guys. And let's give our participants another round of applause. Come on, Dr. Vickers, get in there.